Welcome back, people. Revo Podcast number 5. How's it going, Steele?
Good. How are you doing? Good to have you back.
Yeah, I'm good now. Stop going undercover.
I don't think people like my podcast by myself.
Yeah, it took me forever to do the editing. It was a rough couple of days.
Yeah, well, hopefully Stokes sees this one and he starts commenting on it too.
With the playoffs around the corner, who do you hope to play and who do you hope not to play?
In the first round, I mean, it's pretty much given that it's going to probably be either Halpin or Zeke, Zach, unless somehow Gangsta slips in. But I think all of them pose their own, separate threat. So I'm not really happy to play any of them. Dump off Cheese, Halpin, or MG3 Cheese, or just the mythical Gangsta. But of course, it's always going to come down to Arwalk and Matt. So we'll see how. Gotta get through that first week.
Just don't go one and done. Don't be Snorkel. Don't be that guy.
No, I cannot carry on that AFC tradition.
And don't go leaving chat and going rage quitting either.
I'll try not to.
Around the league, just two things. I don't know if Savage has said anything, but I haven't heard anything about the highlights. I think those are supposed to be happening eventually.
I think at the beginning of the week he was asking more people to get some, but I know I've been sending him some. Zach's been sending him some. I think Reese has. We get some more people on there. I don't know how he's doing with school or whatever. He hasn't been in his chat as much as he usually is, so. But it's nice of him to do this, and hopefully he can do it and get it out soon. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. And then we got, I just got to put the website up, MaddenRevo.com. It'll start getting better over time. Still kind of in early stages if I wanted to get it up.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty sick, too. I mean, I was just on mobile. Oh, yeah, that's one thing. I don't know if you can do it, but add a way to check the desktop site from the mobile site. So
Yeah, I noticed it, yeah. I thought I did originally, but
I didn't see it, but the site looks pretty cool, though. I like it.
Thank you.
Can't wait to add some stuff to it. I'm going to put all my sick articles in my year.
Yeah. Once we get some more stuff, it'll get even better. Once we get more content and stuff.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Only suspension we had, I believe, since the last podcast was Alex Smith, I think, for one game.
Yeah, there was one borderline one, but we decided that was not warranted.
Yeah, Jameis Winston with Rico.
And the reason why, just to give a little insight so nobody freaks out, is because the collective hive mind of the commissions thought that scoring the fifth touchdown to go up 41 in the first half, to end the first half, was a lot more egregious than scoring a touchdown to go up 22 to basically seal the game with almost a whole fourth quarter left.
Exactly. Let's go over weeks. Normally we only do like 3 weeks, but since we've eclipsed 4 weeks since the last one, I guess we'll go over 11 through 15, just kind of briefly. I'll go over each week, and then you can add your comments, I guess, if you have any.
Okay.
For week 11, Vintage beat Sticks 35-19. Savage lost, I don't know if this was actually a game or a sim, but Savage lost to the Vikings 17-14. Arbot,
I think that was a sim. I think that one was a sim.
That's what I figured. Arbot destroyed Zach 40-17. And Rez, I guess the Ravens are CPU. I think Rez lost to them 26-24.
I think that was actually Sam's last game before he left, before he had his business trip.
Any I don't know if any of them are really surprising, but those were kind of like the headline games for that week.
No, it was pretty much went as it should. I mean, I thought Sam and Rez was probably a toss-up.
Yeah. Week 12, Rez lost again to, I forgot the Bengals username, but he lost to them 31-24. Or sorry, 37-34.
That's Smarmy. That's Billy's boy.
Yeah.
Actually, that reminds me, what the hell's Billy at? He hasn't been in chat a lot. It's almost the anniversary of the falling asleep game.
Yeah, it's coming. Snorks beat Savage 17-6. You beat Paul 27-23. Vintage beat Mike 30. Vintage beat Mike 33-30. And Oz managed to blow, I think, a 10 or 14 point lead against Matt and lost 31-27.
I do remember that
one. Week 13, Randy beat Vintage in a ridiculous 48-46. Mike beat Sticks. Well, he beat Sticks. That game was weird. But anyway, Mike got the win. And then Arbot destroyed games to like 100-3.
That's the Alex Smith suspension game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That suspension really hurt him.
And then week 14, Snorks beat Sticks 37-29. Savage beat Mike. And again, Arbot destroyed Zeke.
The game without Alex Smith that really didn't matter.
Yeah. And lastly, week 15, Gamester beat Savage 38-13 and Halpin pisses off Mike and beats him 22-10.
Which spawned Snorley's article that I did love, by the way, and I wish he was able to do it for every game that Mike complained about.
Yeah, I've talked to Mike. He's got to chill with the complaining every time he loses. Let's see. Going over standings, they might have changed from the ones I'm looking at. There's not really any surprises. Not much has changed. I guess the headline will be if Gamester makes the playoffs or not. Tim and Zeke are playing right now. AFC South is terrible. We already knew that much.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the NFC and the AFC has gone how it has supposed to been going. I mean, I would say maybe Gamester being in and Halpin not being as good, but there's always going to be one team missing out there. And then the NFC, I mean, if Sticks can get in over Paul or whatever the hell, whoever falls into the 6th spot.
Yeah, it's basically just the 6 seeds that are up for grabs at this point. And I guess maybe seeding, but for the most part, playoff-wise, it's just the last seed that's still up for grabs.
Yeah, that's what I noticed.
Let's see. Just real quick, based off the standings, for playoff predictions, we both basically have the same thing for the most part. You have 1 seed Patriots, 2 Chiefs, 3 Steelers, 4 Jags, 5 Chargers, 6 Jets. So you don't have games to end. The only thing, and the AFC I'm the same. NFC you have Rams, Panthers, Bears, Cowboys, Packers, and then Sticks, Redskins. The only difference I have is I have Paul instead of Sticks for the 6th.
Well, I don't know. It depends what happens with this sim. I thought Sticks would be able to beat Jed, but if he can't, Paul's probably going to get in there.
Looking at the MVP race, I don't know if it's really a race. It's pretty clear cut who's going to win it. Tom Brady, he's got almost 4,600 yards, 43 touchdowns, only 14 picks, and 120 quarterback rating almost. Pretty ridiculous stat line. What else is new?
Yep, What else is new with Matt Dink and Dunk throwing the ball a million times?
Yeah, there's a lot of good stat lines, but I mean, he's undefeated and that stat line's insane, so it's not really much of a race anymore.
I can't see Gordo beating him in week 17, so that'll probably be a locked up.
Rookie of the year, there's a bunch of rookies with really good stats. Just 3 of them I wrote down were, I think, the same ones from last time. Jameis Winston, he's got 3,400 yards, just almost a 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, almost 100 quarterback rating. Todd Gurley's on pace for almost 2,000 yards and has about 10 touchdowns. And
if he ups his touchdowns, he would definitely be my number 1 pick. Gurley, whatever he's been doing with the Rams, making them good.
And then Amari Cooper, we all know Game still has to cheese him out. He's got almost 1,400 yards, 75 catches, and 11 touchdowns, or at least the last time I checked.
Yeah, he needs to slow down with that because Antonio Brown needs that award.
Let's go over, I guess, our pick-ems from weeks 11 through, we didn't do 14. We normally only have to do 3 weeks, so we'll have 1 week basically that we didn't do. But for week 11, we both went 10-4. The only difference, you picked Arizona, I picked Cincinnati. Arizona ended up winning. And I picked Halpin and you picked McGuffey, and Halpin ended up winning. So we both went 10-4. Week 12, I went 12-4. You went 11-5. The differences were I picked Snorkel and you picked Savage. Snorkel won. I picked Jed. You picked whoever the hell Detroit is. I don't even remember now.
Charger House.
There you go. He ended up winning. And I picked McGuffey, and you picked Tankums over there in New Orleans, and McGuffey ended up winning.
Yeah, it was at the drag game. I can't tell. I always get them mixed up. I know Randy and Mike love to complain every game that they lose.
Yeah. And we both got that wrong. Never mind. And then for week 13, the only difference really, there's a few differences. I went 13-3, you went 12-4. I picked Cincinnati, you picked Cleveland, Cincinnati won. You picked Buffalo, I picked Houston, Buffalo won. And the one difference, I guess, was I picked myself, you picked Tampa Bay. That was when you thought Stokes was still around. Obviously, he's not.
That was pretty crazy, Stokes. Stokes went on like a Tiger Blood rant and just got all hyped up on cocaine and cracked himself out.
He hyped up on that Mountain Dew.
Yeah. He went nuts.
For week 16 and 17, our games of the week, we're already in week 16. I picked 2 of them. One of them is being played right now, which is Gamesta versus Zeke. And the other one is Halpin versus Matt. And like always, Matt destroyed him. I think it was like a 20-point victory. I think it was like 35-17 or something like that.
Yeah, I think Halpin threw 5 interceptions.
Yeah, McCourty I don't know if you noticed, but McCourty has like 14 picks on the year for Matt. Pretty ridiculous.
We should suspend him.
And then next week, game of the week, I have 2 of them again. Mike versus Sticks and Gamesta versus Arbot.
That'll be a fun game, Mike and Sticks.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see any. First game's just got to beat Zeke. I don't know what's the score right now, but first he's got to beat Zeke, and then he's got to turn around and somehow manage to beat Arbot.
I'm looking at it right now. It's on a commercial for Twitch, but I will get us an update. But I think we might have to boot Mike and Sticks so we don't have to hear all the complaining in chat that week.
Yeah. Or we'll just we'll just have Jesse do another double advance and just avoid the whole situation.
I'm cool with that. Actually, as of right now, live update. San Diego is winning 10-0 in the second with 7:44 left. But the Raiders have the ball.
Game is disappointing. Very disappointing.
Yeah, he sucks anymore.
We'll go over our picks for week 16 and 17.
Oh, wait, never mind. I lied. Chargers have the ball. Sorry.
We didn't pick on two games because when you sent me them, they had already been played. The Jets and Patriots and Packers and Cardinals. But outside of that game, for week 16, I picked San Francisco, you picked Detroit. I picked Jacksonville, you picked New Orleans. I, for some stupid reason, picked Gamesta, you picked Zach.
I love how you said that. Some stupid reasons. Gamesta's falling off the map.
I keep taking, every time Cincinnati plays somebody and you don't pick them, they always end up winning. So I picked Cincinnati, you picked Denver.
I think I was one.
Yeah, I remember him mentioning that in chat that he blew his tank job or whatever. And I took Snorkel, and I don't know why, but you took Tampa Bay.
Well, I thought Rico was going to come back and get on a hot streak, but he decided not to play any game again.
For week 17, I picked, you picked Sticks, and I picked Mike. What else? I picked McDuffie, you picked Smooth. That was it. Oh, and our standings-wise, we're actually tied exactly going into these final 2 weeks. We're both 89, 36, and 1.
That's it. I'm taking this. I want the win.
Guess we'll go over the power rankings. Let me see if we have any major difference. I think we both have the same 10 teams in. It's just a matter of the order that they're listed.
So mine's probably right.
Probably. All right, so we'll go down 10-1. You have Packers at 10. I have Jets at 10. You have Jets at 9. I have Raiders at 9. He's no longer in the top 10 because he sucks. I don't know why I have him in the top 10.
We should edit that.
Even though you have him at 8.
I know,
I
definitely.
have Green Bay at 8. You have Snorkel at 7. I have you at 7.
My heart. It hurts.
At least you're in the top 10. There's a couple weeks you weren't in there.
Well, I'm not tanking like you.
Yeah.
Mister's missing extra point.
Yeah, you should ask Vintage about this week. Yeah, Vintage, if you're listening, you can thank you for that win. You can send me your thank yous.
Shots fired.
At number 6, I have the guy who I just gave the win to, Vintage. Or sorry, you have Vintage at 6. I have Snorkel at 6. At 5, we both have the Rams. At 4, you have yourself. Someone's getting a little cocky over there. And
I'm a beast. What do you mean?
I have Mr. Vintage at 4. And then we both have the Chargers at 3. And you have Arbot as 1, Matt as 2. I have Matt as 1, Arbot as 2. And I only have him as 1 simply because he's undefeated. I think Arbot's the better user. It's just
Matt's had such a cake schedule, so I can't give him it.
Yeah.
All right, so that does it for this podcast. Mike was supposed to be our guest for this one. He flaked out. So we're not going to have a guest for this one. I wanted to get it out. It's already late. Again, second week in a row. My fault, people. But thanks for listening, and see you next week.